Here we go. We've got Tecia Torres taking on Brianna Van Buren, and this is a fight that the betting public seems very, very split on here, and I've got a hot take for y'all. Yes, Polo Reyes. Thank you. That's the guy right there. I've got a very spicy take for everybody here. Y'all ready for this? Buckle up, Buttercup. We're about to get serious. So Brianna Van Buren, she's 9-2 as a mixed martial artist. She comes to us from Invicta. It's her second UFC fight. She's an extremely fast starter. She's got strong body kicks. She blitzes forward with combinations. She finishes combos with leg kicks, which I love to see. That's a great strategy. She is strong in the clinch. She'll throw knees. If she gets her opponent backed up against the fence, she flurries, and I like to see that as well. Good inside-outside leg kicks, good entries on her takedowns, physically strong. She is a little tank, and if she gets you on the mat, devastating ground and pound, strong top position, 2 knockouts, 3 submissions, 4 decisions on her record thus far. Very interesting prospect. Tecia Torres, the tiny tornado on the flip side of this thing. She is the partner of Raquel Pennington, who fights later on the card, which this is actually kind of cool. I love to see that. Those two are in a relationship, and the fact that they're both fighting on the card at the same time, I'm a fan of that. I think that's really cool for them to be able to work with each other in camp and support each other through it, and then also peak and fight at the same time. Really fun to watch those two as they go through this. She's very light on her feet. Very good at inside-outside movement, very athletic. She looks to load up on counter punches. She punches her way into her opponents to change levels, body locks. She mixes in the low calf kicks, and her main key is bullying her opponents. If she's able to out-strength her opponents, that's really where she shines. She scrambles really well. She strikes whenever she's breaking a clinch with somebody. And there is such a massive competition level with these two that it floors me. It is unreal, the difference between the women that these two have fought. So Tecia Torres is probably fighting for her career right now, okay? She is riding a 4-fight losing streak, but let's read those names off, shall we? She beats Michelle Waterson, and then she loses to Jessica Andrade. No shame. Girls championship caliber. She loses to Joanna Jędrzejczyk, the long-reigning champion of this weight class, and still potentially championship caliber, just went to a very close decision with the champion. She fights Weili Zhang, the current champion. And then she fought Marina Rodriguez, a woman who had her height and reach advantage destroyed, like just absolutely towered over her, and who I believe is a rising contender, someone who I think is going to be in the title mix very, very shortly. 4 very, very high caliber, impressive names. Those are the 4 people that she lost to. In my opinion, there is no shame in any one of those losses. She went to decision in all 3 of them. And Van Buren, on the other hand, she's fought Jamie Moyle, Caitlin Curran. I mean, she's fought UFC dropouts over in Invicta. And yeah, she's finished a couple of them by choke, but that's what you should be doing. Let's look at the stats here on this one for just a minute. You may be starting to see where I'm headed on this one. And I know some of you are probably widening your eyes or rolling your eyes or saying, oh no, Clint, not again. But let's get there. Let's get there. Tecia Torres averages 4.04 significant strikes per minute over the course of her UFC career. Decent output. She absorbs 3.46 significant strikes per minute, so she is outlanding her opponents by about a half a strike a minute. Not as much as you'd want to see, but she's still outstriking the majority of her UFC opponents. She's got a 52% takedown defense, and again, that's over the cream of the crop in the division. And Brianna Van Buren has only a 1-fight sample size, so we really can't pull anything from that, but she averaged 4.8 significant strikes per minute, so a little bit more than Tecia Torres, but she fought a complete bum. Guys, I don't understand this. Right now, Tecia Torres is a plus 170 dog. I got her at plus 175. I don't understand what's going on here. Van Buren is a 2-1 favorite over a veteran UFC fighter who is only lost to the absolute best that the division has to offer. We've talked before about the angle of the UFC wanting to have the hype prospect get in here and take a win off of somebody. But the biggest issue for Tecia Torres in her fights has been being the smaller fighter. When she ran into those last couple of fighters, she just couldn't do anything. Her whole game plan is rough them up against the cage, take them down, and maul them. That's what she does best. Jessica Andrade You're not mauling Jessica Andrade. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, best takedown defense in the division. You're not taking down Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Weili Zhang, stronger and more powerful than Andrade. You're not taking her down or putting her up against the cage unless she wants to be there. When she says takedown, you say yes, ma'am. And Marina Rodriguez, who she struggled mightily with because of a massive reach advantage. Van Buren, on the flip side of this thing, is going to be smaller than Tecia Torres. Torres has a 1-inch height advantage. Now, Van Buren repays that with a 2-inch reach advantage, so she'll have just a little bit longer on her arms. But this is the first opponent that Tecia Torres has that can match her size in 5 years. 5 years since she's had an opponent that's been the same size as her. Guys, I have to. I took Tecia Torres at plus 175 because I fade people stepping up in competition. That's exactly what Van Buren is doing here. I bet on experience. Tecia Torres has all the experience in the world, and this is going to be a close, hairy split decision. These two women are going to fight extremely closely. It's going to be a back-and-forth battle. They're both going to get some good licks in. They're both going to get some takedowns in. They're both probably going to have some cage control time. This is a 50-50 fight. I am flipping the coin at plus 175. And if I believe that this is a 50-50 fight and I'm getting plus 175 on it, I am not doing myself justice as a bettor to avoid that spot. So as much as I am disappointed because I bet on Tecia Torres a couple of times and I've lost some money with her, I don't really want to go back to the well. I can't miss that line. I have to bet the plus 175. And my boy Lag says the bull is coming. We are head-to-head on this one, buddy. Looking forward to it. And Gabe says Torres has the finest ass I've seen on a fighter in person. Hector Lombard is a close second. Nice. Very nice. So fun story. Speaking of which, we're going to take a short little detour here. The best ass I've seen on a fighter in person is Ryan Bader. And I've seen his ass. I used to train at Power MMA at Fitness. And I went to the early morning Muay Thai classes. And one day I roll on into the showers. I was the only person in there, literally the only person that would use the showers because it was like the 5:30 a.m. striking class. And I would roll into the showers, no problem, strip down, shower off, like nobody else was in the gym. It didn't matter. And one day I roll in and I come around the corner and someone walks by me and you do that whole guy in the gym thing, just don't make eye contact, right? Like whatever. I turn around and it's Ryan fucking Bader. Like, yes, the heavyweight champion of Bellator. And he's buck naked. And let me tell you, I'm sorry, totally straight here, no homo, but that man's ass was sculpted by the gods. I mean, you should have seen the muscle definition on this dude. Okay, enough about Ryan Bader in the shower. I'm sorry. Jay Coyle saying, who did I pick? Modafferi versus Murphy. I got Modafferi, buddy. Van Buren is the future, and Tecia is on her way out. That may be true, but I think Tecia has shown just enough fight in her last couple of fights to show me that she's still relevant. She's fought with, like I said, the very best that the division has to offer. So maybe she is on her way down, but that still might be enough to beat Van Buren in her second UFC fight. We will see. Pav going head-to-head with me here again, but yep, dog or pass value on that side, and took Weili the distance. Right? Like, you know what? Let's take another detour here. Let's go over to Weili Zhang's page for just a second, because I want to see how many people recently have made it to decision with Weili Zhang. This girl has 21 wins in the women's division, and 10 of those have come by knockout. She knocked out Jessica Andrade cold. Tecia Torres took her all 15 minutes. Girl's got some toughness. Girl's got some durability. And when you're fighting for your career, you come up. You show up. Goob saying Torres one of the best value bets on the whole card, and I agree. And you're right, Brianna is more aggressive than Tecia, but remember, they are the same size, and Tecia loads up on counters. Brianna's going to do, it's exactly like the Tyson Nam fight last week. I had to pull the trigger on Nam because he was the more experienced fighter, and his opponent was going to bring it to him. His opponent was serving up the game plan on a silver platter. That's exactly what's happening here. Brianna will bring the game to Tecia, and because of that, Tecia will have opportunities to counter. It's going to be a close fight, folks. We may lose this one by split decision. We might, but I'm going to flip that coin. Sports gambling saying no naked stuff, please. I'm sorry I don't have a Paige Van Zandt story for you. I'm sorry. The only UFC fighter I've seen naked is Ryan Bader. This guy can break that down. What's up, High Kick? Thank you very much, my friend. Jay, welcome to the show. Always full of energy, man. Positivity and love here at the Die Hard MMA podcast. We are a family. We're here to make money. That's the opportunity.